Dark puts you into the role of a vampire, but you're not playing as an undead badass. It's a messy, thoughtless game, and the design and presentation standards are straight out of the 90s. Dark follows Eric Bain, an emo-looking amnesiac who wakes up in a nightclub and discovers that he has been turned into a vampire. Eric finds out that basically he has until morning to track down and drink the blood of the vampire that turned him. Otherwise, he's going to be turned into a ghoul, which is basically the vampire version of a zombie. This goofy plot is basically just an excuse to shuffle Eric around from location to location and set him up against powerful, evil vampires. Dark's single redeeming factor is that it looks kind of pretty. It's got really stylish cell shading. Unfortunately, it's kind of wasted on a game where every other aspect of the presentation is completely lazy. The animation loops endlessly during cutscenes and it looks totally ridiculous. They even screwed up the often repeated animation of sucking an enemy's blood. The voice acting sounds like it's out of a PlayStation 1 game.
You okay?
Yeah, doing fine.
And it's really hard to take anything in Dark as serious as the game wants you to. If the crappy cutscenes don't turn you away from Dark, then the gameplay should. Eric has to sneak around and get past enemies using vampire powers, such as teleportation or force choking them from across the room. These powers are cool in theory, and there are a number of interesting upgrades that you can get, but they require a steady supply of blood, and drinking blood makes noise, which summons other guards to your location. Some of those guards are incredibly stupid. They're not going to notice you if you're walking past a foot away, but other guards are going to pick up on you from across the room and automatically alert everyone to your presence. That inconsistency makes it really difficult to come up with and execute a plan, so a lot of times I found myself just kind of cheesing the AI and exploiting weird bugs. I thought that raising the difficulty level might make the soldiers smarter, but it doesn't actually seem to affect the AI at all. Instead, the difficulty level just limits the number of times that you can save your game. For example, on normal, you can only save twice between checkpoints. Sometimes the game will run for as long as 20 or even 30 or 40 minutes before you hit a checkpoint. That can get really frustrating if you're at the end of a really good run and you make a simple mistake and suddenly you're set back 20 plus minutes. When playing on normal difficulty, I found myself constantly getting trapped in these scenarios where I was in a really tough spot, didn't have any more saves, and would get set back a huge chunk of time if I died. In a better game, the limited save system might have forced me to become a better player, but in Dark, I just settled for switching to easy. Dark's greatest tragedy is that there's a little bit of potential in some of its ideas. It looks good, and the vampire powers sound really cool on paper. But between the horrendous AI, the incompetent level design, and the boring, badly acted plot, Dark manages to waste any opportunities that it might have had.